Why does a man in his 50s, gray at his temples and lines around his eyes, walk into a room and effortlessly attract the attention of a much younger woman, while an energetic, youthful 25-year-old man barely gets noticed in the same space? You have seen this dynamic before. Maybe you have experienced it firsthand. Maybe it is exactly why this question is on your mind now, because it doesn't seem to follow the rules you have been told. Modern culture insists that youth is the ultimate advantage, that looks dominate and that aging pushes a man into irrelevance. But real life keeps hinting at a different truth. Centuries ago, Stoic philosophers already understood this. Men like Marcus Aurelius led empires well into later life. Seneca captivated powerful minds through his writing. Cato the Younger commanded both respect and intrigue until his final days. Their influence had little to do with physical appearance and everything to do with deeper qualities, qualities many men today overlook or never develop. In this video, we will explore 5 masculine traits that give older men a powerful, almost magnetic presence, traits that women who value substance instantly recognize. These are not gimmicks or rehearsed lines. They're foundational qualities, shaped through time and discipline, much like the Stoics cultivated. By the end of this video, you will see why certain older men naturally attract attention in the presence of women, and how those same traits can be built. And pay close attention to the final one. It is rare, often ignored by most men, and that is what truly separates men who are easily forgotten from those who leave a lasting impression. Now let's get into it. Trait 1, the power of controlled silence. Watch a younger man under pressure. He talks faster, gestures more, and tries to fill every gap with noise because silence makes him uncomfortable. To him, volume equals strength, and reacting quickly feels like control. Now compare that to an older man shaped by real challenges. When he's interrupted, criticized, or provoked, he doesn't rush to respond. He pauses. He lets the silence settle, steady and unshaken. There's no urgency to defend himself, no need to prove anything. His calm presence alone does the talking. This silent restraint is something women sense immediately, even if they can't explain it. The Stoics described this state as emotional detachment, the ability to remain unaffected by external chaos. It is the understanding that offense only exists if you choose to accept it. Imagine the strength in living that way, refusing every invitation to lose your composure. Younger men often confuse intensity with authority. They argue loudly, react impulsively, and display their emotions openly, thinking it signals confidence. But it often reveals the opposite, a lack of control. And that's easy to notice. A man who has developed true composure changes the atmosphere simply by being present. He doesn't try to dominate conversations or seek attention. His laughter is rare, which makes it meaningful. His eye contact is steady, not searching or needy. There's a calm, measured rhythm to everything he does. It communicates a quiet certainty. He isn't chasing anything because he already feels grounded within himself. That kind of presence is deeply attractive. Why? Because many women are used to men who want something from them, validation, attention, reassurance. Then they encounter someone who doesn't depend on any of that. A man whose silence carries more weight than most people's words. His stillness creates a shift. Instead of him trying to impress, she feels drawn to meet his level. Around him, she experiences a deeper sense of comfort, not dull comfort, but a grounded, instinctive feeling of safety. Her guard softens. Her interest grows. And here is the truth, this can't be imitated. You can't pretend to have that kind of silence. It comes from experience, from facing hardship, enduring loss, and coming through it with the confidence that whatever comes next, you will handle it. Trait 2, calm authority. There is a paradox at the core of attraction: the more a man tries to look powerful, the less power he actually has. Men who constantly showcase their wealth, boast about their achievements, dominate conversations, or wear status like a badge often push high-value women away, whether they realize it or not. Why does that happen? Because real authority doesn't need to be declared. A true leader doesn't walk around announcing his importance. His presence alone makes it obvious. As Seneca once said, genuine power isn't dependent on how others perceive you, it is internal, steady, and self-owned. The Stoics believed that craving validation is a weakness, and many men waste years chasing approval instead of building substance. An older man who has developed himself carries a quiet confidence. He doesn't interrupt or compete for attention. He doesn't feel the need to correct everyone or prove he's right. Other people's success doesn't threaten him, because his identity isn't built on comparison, it's built on real effort, discipline, and lived experience. This kind of presence is immediately noticeable by women. Think of certain older characters in films, leaders, mentors, powerful figures. They are not loud or flashy. They're composed. They speak calmly, only when necessary, and people naturally listen. Their influence doesn't come from performance, it comes from who they are. What many younger men misunderstand is this: authority isn't about controlling others. It's about mastering yourself, your impulses, your emotions, your reactions. A man who has that level of self-control doesn't need to dominate anyone else. And women sense this almost instinctively. When a woman encounters a man like this, her behavior changes. She doesn't feel the need to test him or look for weaknesses, because there's a sense of stability about him. Instead, she becomes more curious, more inclined to understand him and earn his attention. While a louder, more attention-seeking man might stand out briefly, it's often the quiet, self-assured man, sitting back, unbothered, not trying to impress, who lingers in her thoughts long after. Trait 3, the depth that comes from life experience. Let's face reality, many young men tend to blend together. They often share the same viewpoints picked up from a handful of popular voices, tell similar travel stories, chase identical goals inspired by the same books, and present a surface-level personality simply because they haven't lived long enough to develop anything deeper. A woman can sit with a man in his early 20s and quickly feel like she has heard everything he has to offer within minutes. It is not a question of intelligence, it is a matter of limited life experience. Now imagine her across from a man in his late 40s who has truly lived. Someone who has faced setbacks and rebuilt, experienced loss, supported others in difficult moments, and spent years learning, not to impress. He truly wanted to understand the world before he joined his ancestors. The conversation changes completely. There's no rehearsed persona, no need to impress. Instead, he speaks from a reservoir of real experiences, and each exchange reveals something unexpected and meaningful. This is what the Stoics referred to as gravitas, a kind of depth that comes from being shaped by time, struggle, and reflection. As Marcus Aurelius once said, most people skim the surface of life, but those who truly grow are the ones who dive deeper, confront challenges, and return with greater understanding. Women who value substance are naturally attracted to this kind of depth, not out of calculation, but because they seek conversations and connections that go beyond the ordinary. They want someone who can meet them on levels that others never reach. Trait 4, not chasing. This is one of the most misunderstood qualities, and one that most men consistently get wrong. When many men are attracted to a woman, they immediately lean in too much. They overmessage, try hard to impress, agree with everything she says, and reshape themselves to match what they think she wants. In doing so, they lose the very thing that would have made them appealing in the first place, their sense of self. A more grounded, experienced man doesn't behave this way. Life has taught him enough to understand that no one is worth abandoning his identity, not even someone he's deeply attracted to. The Stoics described this as sophrosyne, self-control over desire, the ability to stay centered instead of being driven by impulse. When this kind of man meets someone he likes, he doesn't pursue in a frantic or strategic way. He continues living his life as it is. He may be interested, even engaged, but he doesn't depend on her presence. That distinction is rare. For a woman used to constant pursuit, this shift stands out immediately. Instead of being chased, she may find herself leaning in, asking more questions, wondering about him. The dynamic changes, not because of manipulation, but because he isn't trying to fill a void with her. This is not a tactic. It's a natural outcome of having a full, self-sufficient life. When a man already feels complete, a relationship becomes an addition, not a solution. Many younger men chase because they feel something is missing and hope someone else will fix it. That neediness is easy to sense, and it often pushes women away. Trait 5, acceptance of mortality. This final trait is rarely discussed, yet it's what truly sets certain men apart. It comes down to how a man relates to the reality of his own mortality. As men grow older, they inevitably confront the fact that life is finite. Time feels more real. Loss becomes personal. The future is no longer abstract. At that point, there are two paths. One is denial, trying to cling to youth, chasing appearances, pretending time isn't passing. The other is acceptance, facing reality directly and making peace with it. The Stoics encouraged this second path. They practiced memento mori, reflecting on death not to be pessimistic but to live more intentionally. As Seneca advised, living with the awareness that life could end at any time sharpens how we use it. A man who has accepted this doesn't waste energy on trivial fears. He's less concerned with rejection, less inclined to delay what matters, and more focused on living fully in the present. This creates a noticeable presence. He's attentive, engaged, and genuinely there in each moment. Conversations with him feel different because his focus isn't divided, he's not distracted or elsewhere mentally. There's also a sense of calm and perspective. Accepting life's limits often brings greater patience, kindness, and emotional balance. Instead of grasping at things, he appreciates them.